This is just a little word of warning to all you sessioneers out there who think, oh, it's great fun to slag off the banjo. Well, I'll have you know that there's a society in this country known as the RSPB. That's right, the ever familiar Royal Society for the Protection of Banjos. And they'll be after you if you don't behave yourselves. My father, he lived to be 90, and when he finally decided to go, he left me brother the fiddle and me the bleeding banjo. I decided to learn how to play it. A few session tunes would be fun. But first I had to work out how to lift it. The bloody thing weighed near a ton. It was a type they made out in Russia, the fretboard an old railway plank. The body itself was cast iron, a recycled Kalashnikov tank. I bought a brand new set of strings and tried to get it in tune. It would have been more realistic to drive an old horse and cart to the moon. I took it down to the session. The boys were very polite. It's a nice wee banjo you got there. In fact, they all knew it was shite. The landlord alone took a liking, of that there can be no doubt. He called for a tune around midnight when he wanted the customers out. When I told her I was going to dump it, the poor wife, she burst into tears. You can't dump your father's only heirloom. It's been in your family for years. So I bought a long distance rail ticket and left the damn thing on the train. The RSPB, that's right, the Royal Society for the Protection of Banjos, brought it back the next week saying, that's cruelty, don't do that again. I was desperate now, suicidal, I just didn't know what to do. When the sister said you should try counselling, that could be the answer for you. The counsellor said it's quite common. It's called banjo syndrome. I said, really? He said, what we recommend people do is try taking up ukulele. But by now, getting rid of this banjo had become an obsession for me when I thought, what if someone robbed it? What a disaster that would be. So I polished it up nice and shiny, put it into the car, drove into the centre of town, left it on the back seat for an hour. When I came back, I was so excited. The bloody back window was smashed. I ran up to the car, they let it. I'd got rid of that banjo at last. My joy was short lived, I can tell you. Now, this is totally bizarre. Somebody had smashed the back window, put another bloody banjo in the car. I see you're collecting old banjos, his brother said with a frown. Soon news that I was a collector. It spread like wildfire across town. People brought banjos in hundreds that had been in their attic for years. I protested I'm not a collector, but my pleas just fell on deaf ears. Most people didn't even bother knocking, just left the damn things at the door. I put up a notice, no banjos, but that just seemed to attract more. A tsunami of banjos engulfed us. The bathroom, the bedroom, the loo, the kitchen, the basement, the attic, in the backyard, the mountain just grew. Then the wife, she had an idea. The car boot sale down at the school, where she sold potpourri on a Sunday. Maybe there we get rid of a few. So I made giant cutouts of cardboard of famous people who played the banjo. So punters could have their photograph took with famous banjo players that we all know. George Clooney, George Formby, Steve Martin, MC Hammer and Paul Weller, and every damn banjo player I could think of, including John Lennon and Nelson Mandela. Soon the banjos were selling like hotcakes. We had offers buy one, get one free. You even got a free banjo every time you bought potpourri. In 3 weeks, the things were all gone. We got rid of the whole bloody lot, except for the father's heirloom, which the wife uses as a plant pot.